Hey guys, it's the Odd Broad, and it's time for some more Odd Pods. Today we are going to be covering the Black-Eyed Children, which is actually a topic suggested by one of my favorite peoples. Thank you, Cruz, for this suggestion, because people want to hear weird shit, and I will deliver. Last 2 nights were about cults and movies and cults in real life, and I just don't want to talk about that shit no more because I ain't drinking that Kool-Aid. So, Black-Eyed Children. Most of you guys know those as to be urban legends, but there are some people that actually had terrifying encounters with the Black-Eyed Children. So let's go ahead and get into some little of the history. Black-Eyed Children, or American contemporary legend of paranormal creatures that resemble children between the ages of 6 to 16, with pale skin and black eyes, who are reportedly seen hitchhiking or panhandling, or encountered on doorsteps of residential homes. So, you know what they say, you see a little kid knocking at your door. Can I come in? Do you let him in? No. Call the fucking cops. Alright, so how this whole little urban legend came to be about, it actually was postings in 1996 written by a reporter named Brian Bethel on a ghost-related mailing list relating to 2 alleged encounters with black-eyed kids. These were tabloid coverage stories back in the day, so these were actually stories that were supposedly heard in the 80s, actually. So, but the first encounters were that Bethel had reported was 2 encounters such in Abilene, Texas in 1996, and claims that the second person had a similar, unrelated encounter in Portland, Oregon. Bethel's stories have become regarded as a classic example of a creepypasta. So if you guys don't know what a creepypasta is, it's actually a short story, and they do have videos and their own website and forums. Creepypastas actually are like Jeff the Killer, Slender Man, 1999, there's like random other ones, Smile Dog, and just a lot of more different ones. It actually falls within the urban legend line too. So, regarding these black-eyed children, we're going to go into a little bit of the lore here. It's actually just like how it's like basically a ghost story, but then there's some people that say that, they had encountered those children. So we're going to find some terrifying encounters with these black-eyed children. Midnight Caller. These are short stories, I believe. And here's another thing saying that the black-eyed kids are a folk phenomena of people having strange encounters with kids whose eyes are entirely black. So like little kids, like my kids' age, wearing blackouts. They insist upon entering their vehicle or home if they seem to be ooze an overwhelming sense of fear and panic. As a fan of a paranormal talk radio, people are just like, okay. I don't know. Does anybody out there have any encounters with these black-eyed kids? Would you let them inside your house or car? Would you just like straight up call the authorities and say, hey, there's a freaky, creepy little kid outside my house. Can you like come pick it up? Jeez. Oh my god, alright. I found some short stories I'll read for you guys. Alright, here's the first one. And I actually got this from thoughtcatalog.com. Shout out to those guys. Alright, so this one's called The Midnight Caller. It was almost like a dream. I woke up to my dog Lucy barking. She was upright on the bed where my husband and I were sleeping with our 22-month-old daughter. Staring at our door like an unknown stranger was out there rummaging around. I thought she was freaking out over the house noise. We only had her for 3 months and she was still a puppy. It could have been anything: our roommate, a creak from the house settling, or awnings moving outside in the breeze. I wasn't too concerned initially. I decided the best bet would be to open the door and show her nothing was there. It sounds a bit silly, but it's what we do with our daughter when she gets scared, so I figured it should work with the puppy too. I opened the door and she raced to the front door. She stood there snarling at the door. It was a very angry, violent growl, one I've never heard her make before. I looked at her groggily and looked at her open the baby gate, blocking the doorway, planning to open the door and show her everything was okay. The second my hand reached the deadbolt, Lucy went wild. She started barking and jumped towards me. When I touched the metal, she suddenly changed her temper. She whimpered almost like she was afraid and backing down. As her mannerism changed, so did mine. I wasn't calm anymore. My heart was racing and sinking, and at the same time, I had been flooded with a mixture of fear and dread. I looked through the peephole. I can't explain why I looked, but I did. Outside, there were two kids. One was just a smidgen shorter than me and didn't look much younger. I'm 21, and she looked to be 16 or 17. Pause and read. Alright. She was slender and pale. Her hair was light and with the shade of a honey blonde, and she wore it long, about mid-back. With the long, thin, blunt bangs in the front and covered most of her eyes. She wore jeans, a light wash that's popular right now, and a thin-looking olive-colored pullover style hoodie. She held the hand of a small girl who looked to be around 3 or 4 in the same style of jeans and buttoned-down ivory cardigan. The smaller one looked at the floor shyly, and the same shade of hair tied to the back in the back of the ponytail. So the little girl looked like her older sister, apparently. Let's see. She had a stuffed toy under her free arm. It was identical to the one my daughter has. It was their style of dress. Had it not been for the feeling of overwhelming dread and fear, I probably would have asked these children in and given them some tea or hot chocolate to get them out of the cold. Something about them seemed off at this point. They hadn't made any noise. I hadn't shushed the dog or grumbled. Nothing. I had turned on any lights, and these kids had no indicators I was at the door. The older one spoke. She had a voice that was mature, confident, strong, accentless, as she held her head toward downward, and I couldn't see her eyes. As she said, "We have to use your phone." I stood in fear. How did she know I was there? And she raised her head to face me directly. And that's when I saw her eyes. There was a reason I couldn't see them through her bangs before. They were black or a midnight blue or a dark, dark purple. They were otherworldly, she said. Our mother is worried. As someone who's always been interested in creepy stories, I knew what she was the second she looked at me through the door. I've never been one to believe in these things. As a staunch atheist and skeptic when it comes to the paranormal, I had written off many a ghost story from friends and family members, eager to tell their tale. I still didn't believe it. Still, I couldn't rationalize my way out of this. I was standing with nothing but a thin wooden door between me and the black-eyed kid. There was no questioning that's what it was right in front of me. I did not answer. She slowly and silently. I backed away from the door, Lucy cowering at my ankles. She kept talking. Just let us in to use your phone. I took another step back, and with that step, the tone changed. At first, she seemed polite, and I took the second step back. She became commanding, almost hostile. We're not going to hurt you. If we wanted to do that, we would have broken in. And I'll ask again. May we come in and use your phone? Lucy snarled at the door, and I inched backward, though something inside me seemed to be slowing me, pulling back to the door, and it wasn't the physical pulling as much as a subconscious need to go back and let them in. So this is kind of another thing they said, like, these black-eyed kids have telepathy powers or some type of psychological thing that would compel you to do shit, like to open a door or let them in or talk to them or touch them or something. So, continuing on. I got to my room covered up to the window. I locked the door, and I sat there dim light of nightlight. I heard her call me back to the door once more, and then quiet. I didn't go back to sleep that night, and I haven't slept right since. I know from reading about them that black-eyed kids can't just come in without permission. I know they haven't hurt anyone. I still fear I'll be the exception. When I told my husband, he said it was just a dream. He kept telling me to forget it, but this lingering feeling of sadness, this dread, the whole house is silent at night, and this fear of the knock at the door tells me otherwise. So that's just one of the stories I just found. It's called The Midnight Caller. So what did we learn, children? You do not answer the door. You see some kids with their hair in their eyes and all that shit, but don't open the door. Okay, so we're gonna go read another encounter. Let's see. And let me just remind you, this guy, Brian Bethel, was the one who wrote the stories, but he's the one that actually wrote the urban legend against, the urban legend surrounding the black-eyed kids. There's other types of different supernatural beings that do kind of shapeshift in the kids. You have people or evil beings and they actually throw their voices as kids or pretend to be something they're not in order to get you. You know, children, there are things that do go bump in the night. It's just a matter of fact if you're a believer or not. A true believer will know the do's and don'ts. As a person or if that's basically an atheist or hardcore skeptic, and if you saw it to believe it, you know you're pretty much doomed. Moving on, we're gonna find another story, and then we're gonna move on to a different subject. All right.
On the back. Come here. Sit. Just pull your shirt down from the back like that. So it goes up there.
On the background, you hear my mom and my kiddo. Say hello, guys.
Hey.
What's up?
Alright, we're gonna find another one. Alright, here's one. It's called You Must Let Me In. On March 17, 2008, I had one of my only encounter with a black-eyed kid. Before my experience, my mom's holding a fork. she's like, it's like her. And my daughter's throwing across.
I'll give them a taste of this bad cake. They'll go away.
With the lardy frosting.
Too much frosting. Too much frosting and chocolate.
Okay, so let me read this. On March 17th, 2008, I had my one and only encounter with a black-eyed kid. Before my experience, I've never heard of anything or having anything to do with these black-eyed kids. I was 12. I was sitting outside of a hairdresser's in an old Chevy pickup waiting for my mom to get her hair cut. Hold on, guys. Pause. There you go. Mom duties never stop, guys. Here we go. Where did I leave off? Oh. About 15 minutes have passed, and I saw some kid walking back and forth along the sidewalk in front of my parked car. At first, I thought I recognized him as one of my friends from school, so I banged on the front windshield until he looked my way. It was not anyone I knew. At this point, I was not scared at all. Not yet. The boy walked over to the side of my car and just stares. I think to let me get a good look at his eyes to freak me out. Let me tell you, if you've never seen a black-eyed kid, you have no idea what to imagine. Pupils black as the night sky. The boy whispers, "You must let me in." And then I locked the car doors and ducked down into the space below the seats. 5 minutes later, he was gone. When my mother got into the car, she told me a boy with black eyes had came into the hairdresser's and insisted for my mother to give him the keys to the car. As she refused, and thank God she did. What the hell? Oh, it would be like, okay, you little crotch goblin, like, I'm gonna give you my fucking car keys. No, thank you.
I sock him.
I'd grab a baseball bat and hit him.
So these black-eyed kids, they stem from creepypasta, and it's actually like an urban legend. For those of people who know about urban legends, some of them are kind of like, out there.
There's like a whole bunch of other ones.
Alexa off. Yeah, so there's a lot of skepticism around it, and it kind of relates around through like parapsychologically, parapsychological subjects. People kind of like consider them like not even like as a extraterrestrial or whatever, like more like a some kind of mysterious little entity. I mean, if they had the ways to compel someone to let them in, or if they were just like so docile until they were like, you know, starting to turn into a
cat.
We're in my room or outside. Sounded like the front porch.
Yikes. I ain't opening the fucking door.
Yeah, you were, because you're telling creepy ass stories.
No, Sadie jumped down.
From where?
Oh, she was somewhere. I don't know. Alright, guys. So if you guys want to check out more about the Black Eyed Kids, you can actually check it out on the websites such as .catalog.com, or you could go on Wikipedia. You can also see there's actually a movie about the Black Eyed Kids. Yeah, it's called The Black Eyed Children. It was a film in 2012, but I think it kind of tanked because like the plot wasn't all there. And actually, there was a spot they had on the X-Files. It's actually the episode's called Black Oil, so you want to check that out, go for it. Moving on, since we're going on urban legends, what kind of other urban legends do you want to hear about? Anybody? Any takers? Do. I don't know why I said that, but I just did. Alright, so we have urban legends that are totally true. Let's see. Do you call bullshit? Maybe. You smell it. Oh my god, alright. There is some let's see.
Wow.
Reptiles living in city sewers. Do you think that shit's true?
Yeah.
I do. I mean, there were New York, Florida, Chicago, California, anywhere that had like a reptile show that sell like baby caimans and shit, or like a little baby alligators, and they get crocodiles. They can't raise them, so they fucking flush them.
That's messed up.
And
turtles too. I mean, we went to a reptile show 2 years ago. No, last year, actually a year ago, because it was beginning before the pandemic hit, and that's where we got Lewis. But there was a couple of stands that were selling caimans, baby caimans.
They're so cute.
They were so tiny, but holy shit, they were like, you know, there's tiny. They look like little lizards to me. And then the guy was like, "Yeah, you need to get a bigger tank for them and all this. So, like, the bigger the tank, you know, the bigger they're gonna grow." And I go, "They eat this and that," and then like they're like, yeah. The guy was giving everyone a do's and don'ts of owning a caiman, and then I'm like, why would you own that type of exotic animal when you know you don't have the means or housing to accommodate the animal? I mean, I've seen videos on YouTube where there's a damn crocodile in the sewer, and there's like a kid's ball in there, and before the little kid could grab it, there's a freaking guy that looks and goes, no. He like pulls the kid back, and you can just see it, and you get like the ball's right there, and you can see the two freaking glowing eyes of the damn animal. And I'm like, holy shit, no.
You can hear it hiss.
And you hear it hiss. Yeah, that was that one we watched, remember?
Yeah.
It hissed like that?
Yeah, like a word. Creepier.
Alright, so I'm going to read you the urban legend against the reptiles on the reptiles and sewers. It just depends on what century we're talking about here. In the early 1900s, It's unheard of for wealthy New Yorkers to bring in baby Floridian alligators to the Big Apple to keep them as pets. When they decided the pets weren't quite as cute as they had hoped, they supposedly flushed them down the toilet. You ever see that movie, Crocodile or Croc?
Croc.
It's like an old 80s movie. Or was it The Alligator or some shit? I remember that movie. It was a cheesy horror movie where the guy got rid of flushed the gator or down the thing, and all of a sudden it was like terrorizing the sewers in New York City. And it like climbed into swimming pools and ate kids and babysitters and all that shit. I thought that was funny. I was like, not the kids. It was sad because I cried for the little kids, but the babysitters I did not feel bad for.
It's funny to me.
Right.
That's funny to me.
Alright, so the 1932 New York Times reported that a group of teenagers had witnessed a gator easing itself out of the Bronx River. But don't fret, the chances were that a band of toothy reptiles currently swimming through the sewage of your city these days is a nil. So actually, it kind of would be impossible because they would have to,
squeeze their way in.
Yeah. Plus, I don't want to. I don't know. It's a touchy subject. Let's see.
Oh, whoa.
Alright.
Good exterminators, if you don't like the way you just cut them up and throw them in there.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, they actually pulled something up about Elisa Lam. That's messed up. That's no urban legend. It actually happened at the Cecil Hotel in California. 21-year-old Elisa Lam was found in the water tower in the Cecil Hotel, where her body was decomposing. So the guests of the hotel were actually drinking the water, bathing in the water that had her body's decomp in it.
Somebody said she reported it because the water tasted.
Yeah, there were reports of a terrible smell and taste emanating. Turn on the shower or try to drink the water, and when they found her body floating, and that's an unfortunate thing that happened to her.
Why would they drink that?
They didn't know it was in there until they opened the faucet. I go, if you saw black matter coming out of your faucet, would you still drink the water?
No. They'll just assume it's oil and put it down.
Okay, that's that. They're claiming that's an urban legend. That's not an urban legend. That actually happened.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Let me see. Get the cat. She's in the kitchen. She's on the counter. I can hear her. She climbed through the fish tanks. Ooh. Let's see.
Maybe in Australia now.
Alright, let's see. Alright, guys. Medical students recognizing a cadaver. Have you heard of this one? Apparently, to the editor of Journal of the American Medical Association in 1982, documented how a medical student had recently recognized her own great aunt among the cadavers being dissected in one of her classes. Luckily, this situation doesn't seem to happen very frequently. I mean, if the person actually donated their body to science, it's plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, because some people are like, they donate kidneys, they donate organs when if something.
Some people donate their bodies to science.
Yeah. Or like the killing fields.
Then they take them out. There's this one place back east for the FBI investigation.
Yeah, the killing fields.
They have a farm.
Yeah, the body farm.
And they just
copy how they
decompose them and the bugs that are.
Yeah, that's where they
learn how long the body's been out.
Yeah, that's how they test out they document the decomp and
the bugs are attracted to that part of.
Yeah, the body and some of that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know that shit. You work at fucking mortuary.
The man who became a pair of shoes. Have you guys heard this one?
Pair of shoes.
A pair of shoes.
Yeah. All right.
What lucky person got to wear
The man who became a pair of shoes.
George Parrott, also known as Big Nose George, was hanged in 1880s for being an outlaw with a penchant for horse thievery. Supposedly, a physician was assigned to study George's brain in order to root out the cause of his criminal activity. And bizarrely, he decided to use George's skin for a number of crude purposes, including making himself a new pair of shoes. Alright, Ed Gein. I thought Ed Gein was fucking hardcore. This dude just made up shoes out of this fucking dude. I mean, oh my god. Maybe that's where he got it from.
He made country shoes.
I don't know what kind of shoes, but yeah, he made some freaking shoes out of that dude. Rats living in a toilet. I believe that shit.
I really do.
No, I'm not going to touch that one because I don't want to have nightmares. Halloween candy being laced with drugs. Have you heard this one?
Oh, let's hear.
Okay.
Let's hear.
It's recommended that parents exercise some caution and check their children's candy after an evening of trick-or-treating, and for good reason. There have been, unfortunately, multiple reports of unsuspecting children returning home with small baggies of crystal meth in their treat bags. That I believe, because there's like tweakers in it, and I'd be like, oh, okay, whatever. And then, like, there's people that are saying, like, people are like, oh, be careful, because, you know, someone might put edibles in the kids' candy. And, like some of the people I work with, they're like, who would waste fucking money on edibles just to give them to your fucking brat? That's what someone said. I couldn't stop laughing when he said that.
There is a rule in Halloween. Always check your candy.
Always check your candy, because don't forget, actually, and I think in the 80s or mid 70s or 80s, there was a guy who actually poisoned his kid with pixie sticks, and there were several other children that were affected by that too. He did kill his children with the pixie sticks. They called him the Candy Man.
The Candy Man can.
The comedic traits of my daughter, guys.
I really do make
You'll be hearing them on Thursdays and Fridays when I do not have my other co-hosts with me. And since I found out I can actually bring in more podcasters through the app I'm working with, it's actually Anchor that I'm working with. Don't forget, guys, you can actually download Anchor, make your own podcast, and you can actually be distributed through Apple, Google Podcast, Overcast, anywhere you guys get your podcast. You can find Odd Pods or the Odd Rod, or you can actually do your own and make your own thing. Let me see. I'm just like,
go.
Let me see. I'm still looking, guys.
It's a beautiful squirrel.
Okay. Let's see. I'm still looking.
Now that's.
Okay, here we go. A prop corpse turned out to be a real dead body. That's uncommon, says the Poltergeist movie. They actually used real skulls in the original Poltergeist. Maybe that's why they're all cursed.
Yeah, all dead cursed.
Although it may read like an urban legend, the corpse of Elmer McCurdy, an early 20th century bank and train robber, somehow became a frightening staple of traveling carnival and sideshow circuit for more than 5 decades. That was until his mummified remains, then used as a frightful prop, were discovered in 1976 at the Pike Amusement Zone in Long Beach, California. Now dubbed the bandit who wouldn't give up, McCurdy's remains were finally sent to their final resting place in 1977 at the Summit View Cemetery in Guthrie, Oklahoma. So, yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
abuse.
It's crazy.
A body under the hotel bed.
You want to read that one? Or do you want me to read it?
You should read.
Yeah, I should read it. Legend has it that some people encounter dead bodies underneath the hotel beds. Though it sounds like a childhood campfire story, in fact, dozens plus newspapers have detailed stories about grisly occurrences. From a couple in Atlantic City sleeping on the mattress that contained a dead body, to guests at a budget motel in Memphis, finding a dead body of Sonny Millbrook, a missing person just beneath their bed. So you gotta remember, guys, be wary of where you stay. Even if it's like a nice motel or a nice hotel, whatever you might call it. Always.
If you smell a corpse, it might be under your hotel bed.
I mean, if you see something that's not right, investigate, because you don't know. I mean, there are actually cases that there are, like there was a hotel, I think in New York City, that was known for, very, very bad criminal behavior, and they did find a body in a mattress.
Find it, report it.
And then, like, when the person stayed in, like, the person did stay in that room, but they actually got a room at the other hotel across the street to keep an eye on that room. So when it was a movie, I think, no, like a documentary or whatever. But the person who rented rented 2 rooms, one across the place that was supposedly, crime ridden and all this other shit. They were watching their room that they had rented, the bad room, from the other room, from a better room, I guess you can say. And while watching out through the window, they could see one of the hotel staff like open the door through the other hotel room. They intentionally left the curtains open so they could spy inside the other hotel room, right? And they caught the hotel staff like going into the room and then closing the curtains. Now that's not suspect, and I don't know what the hell it is.
That's not sus at all.
That's totally sus. So, yeah. Everybody's going crazy about these urban legend things. You know what? I think I'm going to continue those probably tomorrow. I'll probably be joined by Cookies and the Golden Matthew tomorrow. First, for you ladies who requested Golden Matthew and his readings of serial killers, I will give you guys that tomorrow. Join us tomorrow night as we continue on urban legends. Thank you guys for tuning in. I do appreciate all my followers, my listeners. You guys are awesome. Once again, thank you, Cruz, for suggesting the Black Eyed Kids, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye. Peace.